Hello, this is Mr. Win, and this video is absolute value equations. So absolute value is the distance of how far a number is from zero. In this example, it says the distance of some number is 4. So what number is 4 spots away from 0? Also, you need to keep in mind that distance is never negative. So down here, I'm looking right here, when you have the absolute value of a single number, if it's negative inside, it comes out positive. So the absolute value of -4 is positive 4. Because if I'm right here on the map, on the graph, I'm 4 space from 0. Here's 1 bunny hop, 2 bunny hops, 3 bunny hops, 4 bunny hops. So 4 away from 0. Same for the other one. The absolute value of positive 4. If the single number inside the bars is already positive, it stays positive. Because 4 right here is 4 spots from 0. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, distance is always positive. If I'm 1 mile from the school, if I reverse it, I say the school is 1 mile from me. I don't say -1 miles. Alright, so just so you know, this answer, x equals -4 inside or positive 4. And I'll make this a set. It's a list. Every number in this little curly braces is an answer. So we have 2 answers here. So I'll say 2 answers slash 2 cases, which is something you got to keep in mind for the next slide. Alright, so remember absolute value has a positive and negative case. That means we should be able to create 2 equations from the problem. There are 2 good methods to solve absolute value problems. Method 1 is the main universal one, is isolate the absolute value method, but you use basic algebra to get the absolute value by itself on one side. That means there's nothing in front or behind the absolute value bars. Then you can create the 2 equations by multiplying the non-absolute value side, usually it's the right side, by positive 1 for the positive case and -1 for the negative case. And then when you multiply by positive 1 or -1, that usually involves distribution if there's multiple terms on one side. Then you solve both equations normally, and you must check your 2 answers in the original equation. And again, checking is required. We have something called extraneous solutions, where the math worked out, but when you plugged into the original, it came out wrong. Then we have the second method. The one I like more is the straight to solving method. Instead of solving for absolute value, you just create the 2 equations right away by changing the absolute value signs into parentheses and multiplying that parentheses by positive 1 for the positive case and -1 for the negative case. All the numbers and signs stay exactly the same. You still solve both equations normally. You still check your 2 answers in the final or in the original equation for extraneous solutions. So I'm going to use both ways. So here, solve this. So let's do method 1 first. So here's the problem. 2 absolute value 2x plus 3 equals 18. Absolute value, method 1 requires nothing in front or behind the bars. So I could divide both sides by 2. This is probably the last time I'll do this method. I'm going to start showing no work for the next one, I guess, or minimum work. So now that value is by itself, and this is 9. I can now create the 2 things. So hopefully y'all know that the inside of the left side is supposed to be -9 and positive 9. Because if -9 is inside the bars, it comes out positive 9. 9 equals 9. If positive 9 is in there, it comes out, stays positive. 9 equals 9. So I'm going to set the 2 problems. The first one's the left side equals positive 1 times 9. I'll write like that. And the second problem will be 2x plus 3 equals -1 times 9. I'm just multiplying the right side by positive -1. So sometimes some cases where I put a plus or minus there. Your choice, but I don't like that. Alright, you solve each normally. So this is just 2x plus 3 equals 9. I'm going to subtract 3 both sides to get 2x equals 6. Then I'm going to divide by 3. You get x equals 3. Over here, same idea. 2x plus 3 equals -1 times 9 is -9. Subtract 3 both sides. 2x equals -12. Divide by 2. I get x equals -6. Alright, then I'm going to check it, plug in the original problem. So I'm back up here. So let's do 2 absolute symbol values. 2 parentheses 3. I'm plugging 3 for x first. Plus 3 closest should equal 18, which we don't know yet. You work on the inside. It's like a parentheses or grouping symbol. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 3 equals, we're not sure, 18. Fix that inside. 6 plus 3 is 9. Now also, you cannot distribute or multiply into those bars. They're their own operation. So once you get a single number inside, you figure out what's the absolute value of 9. Well, it comes out positive 9 in parentheses. Now this 2 in front can finally multiply. So 2 times 9 is 18. 18 equals 18. That's true. This answer is good. We do the same thing for the second answer. So I'm going to erase all this. Yeah. I'm going to plug in the negative case. So I'm going to do 2 absolute value 2 parentheses negative 6 plus 3 equals 18. Same thing, work on the inside. So 2 absolute value, that's negative 12 plus 3 equals 18. Again, we're not sure. We're checking. The inside, negative 12 plus 3 is negative 9. Absolute value negative 9 comes out positive 9. And you must have a single number inside before you make it positive. Some people will make a mistake and they'll do this thing right here and they'll say positive 12 plus 3 to get 15. That's wrong. So only once a single number can you take it out and make it positive. All right, and this is 18 equals 18. That's good. So this is also an answer. So here my final answer will be both of those, 3 and negative 6. So x equals 3 and negative 6. In set notation, everything in this list is an answer. All right, I will do this the second way. So this is method 2. This is a straight to solving method. Instead of dividing both sides by 2, I can change the absolute value to parentheses and then multiply from a positive 1 and negative 1. Now there's a number in front, and we just multiply those numbers together. So positive 1 times positive 2 is positive 2. That's the first equation. Now I'm going to do the negative case. I'm going to multiply the number in front of the parentheses to negative 1. So negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. But the good thing about this is these are now parentheses. Parentheses you can distribute. So if I solve both of these, if I distribute, I get 4x plus 6 equals 18. I subtract 6, 4x equals 12. Divide by 4, x equals 3. First answer, which I have to check later, but I won't because we already checked on the other side. Over here, distribute the negative 2, get negative 4x minus 6 equals 18. Add 6, negative 4x equals 24. Divide by negative 4, x equals negative 6. As you can see, the same two answers we got on the left side. You just check them again, and both of them will work. So that's how you do method 1 and method 2. All right, next one. Here, I'm going to do method 2 because I like it more. So I'm going to do the first case by changing the absolute value to parentheses and putting a positive 1 in front and negative 1 in front. Again, if there's a number in front, like 2 like before, that's when they multiply together. So I have positive 1 parentheses x plus 10 plus 8 equals 4x. The second one will be negative 1 parentheses x plus 10 plus 8 equals 4x. Notice the signs stay the same, the numbers stay the same. Only thing is that positive 1 and negative 1. Distribute here, x plus 10 plus 8, 4x. Combine like terms, x plus 18 equals 4x. Subtract x, get x one side, so 18 equals 3x. Divide, x equals, or 6 equals x. That's 1. Do the same thing over here. Negative x minus 10 plus 8 equals 4x. Combine like terms, negative x minus 2 equals 4x. X to one side, or let's see, I'm going to add x both sides, so negative 2 equals 5x. And then divide. So negative 2 over 5 equals x. I have my two answers, but I must check. If I plug in the original, I'll do like this. 6 first. So absolute value 6 plus 10 plus 8 should equal 4 times 6. We don't know, we're checking. So this is 6 plus 10, that's 16 on the inside. 8 equals question mark 24. Alright, well, what comes out is 16 plus 8 equals question mark 24. And 16 plus 8 is 24 equals 24. That's good. This answer works. We need that. We'll try it again for this other one. Absolute value of negative 2 over 5 plus 10 plus 8 equals 4 times negative 2 over 5. Now I'm going to use common sense here. So if you think about this, this is a trick. This number in here must come out positive no matter what. So I'll say a positive number. Then I'm going to add another positive number 8. And over here, this is a positive times a negative, which is a negative number. So I have a number that's higher than 8 on the left side. A positive number equals to a negative number, and that's wrong. So this right side fails. Now you could actually find the actual numbers, and they will be different. The left side will be different than the right side. But you can also do what we call a sign check, We're just checking to make sure both signs match. Positive equals positive or negative equals negative. So this side failed. So this is what I meant an extraneous solution. So here there's only one answer. X is just 6. All right, that's method 1, or 2. Method 1 would have got the same thing. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, solve this. Now this I'm going to switch and do method 1. Method 1 has one advantage, and that's this. I'm going to subtract 8 both sides, get the absolute value by itself. I'm going to get negative 7 here. Now you're technically supposed to write the two equations. 3x minus 2 equals negative 7. 3x minus 2 equals positive 7 when you multiply the right side by positive 1 and negative 1. But if you think about it, the left side's distance. So this is saying the distance of this number from 0 is negative 7 spaces away. You can't get an absolute value to come out negative. It's supposed to be positive. So here, this is a positive number no matter what, and it's supposed to equal to a negative number. That's impossible. Because that's impossible, we'll say no solution. Now you could actually do the math, right? Solve the, or you can do, let me do this. No solution is also that, your choice, however you want to write it. But you could write the two equations, solve both of them, and check both your answers, and both equations or answers would have failed to check out. It would have been some number equals a different number. So this is a shortcut if you can see that an absolute value equals a negative number. It has to be a single negative number as well. All right, and the last part, when creating an absolute value equation from a word problem or number line graph, there's a very specific formula that you have to use. That is the absolute value of x minus a, close absolute value equals r, where x is just x, a is the average or center, and r is the plus or minus range or tolerance from the center. And the order does matter. If you switch r and a, you'll get the wrong answers. So for this problem, it says write and solve the absolute value equation representing this situation. A bag of chips usually weighs 4 ounces. Sometimes the machine puts in too much or too little, and it makes the weight differ by 0.2 ounces. What's the least and greatest possible weight? Now this should be common sense. You could do 4 minus 0.2 to get 3.8 ounces for the smallest, and 4 plus 0.2 for 4.2 ounces for the biggest. But let's create the equation. So it's absolute value x minus the average, the middle, or the center, which is 4. That's equal to the plus or minus range from the middle. So how far is it from 4 ounces? 0.2. So do 0.2. All right, and if I solve this, which I will, I'll do it the method 1. 0.2 is the first one, and then negative 0.2. That's the second one. I solve for both. If I add 4, I get 4.2 here. And I add 4 here, I get 3.8 here. Now you're supposed to plug in and check, but it is true. So I will do that. Absolute value 4.2 minus 4 should equal 0.2 question mark. So this is a 0.2 inside, should equal question mark 0.2. Well, what comes out of absolute value 0.2 stays positive 0.2 equals 0.2. That's good. All right, and then I do the same thing over here. I should use a different color, but that's okay. Absolute value 3.8 minus 4 should equal question mark 0.2. I combine the insides, so that's negative 0.2 should equal 0.2. Absolute value of negative 0.2 comes out positive 0.2 equals positive 0.2. That's good. So my answer here are those two. I use blue. So x equals, or the lowest is 3.8 ounces, and the highest is 4.2 ounces, with 4 being the middle. Again, if you change the order, you will not get positive 3.8 and positive 4.2. You'll get different answers. All right, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you in class. Make sure you ask me any questions. Bye.